Film School. Film study professor Joe Fortunato is joining us this morning. And this weekend is Joe's favorite weekend of the year when you're talking a film study professor. Dr. Joe Fortunato on board with us as he's going to have an Oscars preview for us this morning. So, Joe, my friend, take it from there. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Rick. Good morning, everyone. And this is certainly, if not my favorite, my busiest time of the year. I'll be doing some media here with you today. I'll be doing it Good Morning Cleveland this weekend, and I'll be doing my lecture, which we'll talk about at the end of this tomorrow at the Green Branch Library. But today we're going to preview the Oscars, and my goal is to make you the smartest person at your Oscar party. And the Oscar story this year is really the tale of two movies, and that's One Battle After Another versus Sinners. One Battle has the broad industry consensus and the key precursor awards, while Sinners is the hotter emotional momentum coming out of the SAG-AFTRA Awards most recently. Then there's other races, Jesse Buckley and Paul Thomas Anderson, probably some of the strongest locks in the other pictures, but there is some possible surprises we'll talk about. Michael B. Jordan, coming off of his late-breaking lead actor surge after those SAG-AFTRA Awards, and Sean Penn probably has taken control of supporting actor. And then supporting actress is the category that's probably going to blow up everybody's ballot like that. So let me kind of go through these. Best Picture. This is a tough one. The consensus is One Battle After Another. And that's because it has the overall big picture industry respect. It won the Producers Guild and the BAFTA Awards for Best Film. It remains the leading Best Picture pick at some of the pundit sites. The argument's simple. When the producers, the British voters, and all the pundits line up with the same film, it usually means broad Academy support. Now, the counter argument is Sinners, which just won the SAG-AFTRA Ensemble, which is sort of their version of Best Picture, and clearly has the late momentum. So if you need one, if you're going to put your ballot, I'm going to say One Battle After Another, but don't be surprised if Sinners sneaks in an upset because of its late momentum. As far as director, then it follows if One Battle After Another, director Paul Thomas Anderson might win director, and he's probably the strongest call of the night for the same reasons. And for the same reasons, Ryan Coogler, who directed Sinners, could be the passion upset for this. Now, I believe it's going to be Paul Thomas Anderson, partly because of not only just the scale and authorship and execution of the movie that he made. It's a great movie. But also, I think the Academy wants to reward him for his career. I mean, starting all the way with Boogie Nights and so many great films ever since. And I think there's a career sentiment for Paul Thomas Anderson. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet is probably the closest thing to a lock this year. Buckley won the BAFTA, won the SAG Award. And it's exactly the kind of profile that wins Oscars. It's a deeply respected performance. It had emotional weight, critical admiration, and then again, the SAG-AFTRA Award wins that. A possible outsider, a possible spoiler is Rose Byrne, who was very admired for the role in If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You. But I think the lock there is Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. For Best Actor, I kind of hinted to this already. Michael B. Jordan kind of comes to the front this award season. I think the consensus was Timothée Chalamet, but he's kind of fallen off of late, and then he got into a little trouble with social media of late as well. But Michael B. Jordan won the SAG-AFTRA Award, and the crowd really went nuts. So it did kind of show that and the SAG, the actors are the biggest voters of the Academy. So that love for Michael B. Jordan, I think, is going to carry over, and I think he's going to win his first Oscar. For supporting actor, Sean Penn, for One Battle After Another. Again, he's got the credentials from some of the other acting awards, including the SAG-AFTRA and BAFTA. The strongest spoiler here is Stellan Skarsgård, so he's also one of the older nominees for his great role in a foreign film this year. And the Academy really likes him a lot. But again, I think Sean Penn is going to win this one. Best Supporting Actress, this one is kind of a split between Tiana Taylor and Amy Madigan. And I believe that Amy Madigan has the momentum now again coming out of those SAG Awards. I keep bringing those up because they are important because of the precursor award indicates what the largest group is thinking. And Amy Madigan had a quirky role this year and also kind of has that lifetime feeling, for her lifetime of work. But Tiana Taylor's role was so strong that it's kind of hard to ignore her. So that could be the spoiler there.
Joe Fortunato, and again, we're doing our Oscars preview. I like what he had to say about Michael B. Jordan there because I'm a big fan. That Sinners movie was, I don't know if it's classified as a horror flick. I guess it is, but, and I don't want to do any giveaways, but the roles that Michael B. Jordan did in that movie, Joe, were just fantastic. I don't want to throw you off here, but I like your words there that you said about Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, and like I said, Sinners scares me a little bit in terms of predicting because it set the record this year for the most nominations ever, and that says something for sure. Now, to be fair, One Battle After Another also had tied the previous record with most nominations, so it's no slouch either. But that support for Sinners, and Sinners sort of feels like that's the film of the year in terms of the culture type of thing. So, if it wins the Best Picture, I don't think anyone's really going to complain about that. But like I said, traditional wise, One Battle After Another, I think has the leg up so far. And as I mentioned, we have a couple of, ways to look at this. The Guild predictor theory is that all the awards that are won in the Writers Guild, the Directors Guild, the Producers Guild, the BAFTA, the Critics' Choice, all these kinds of things. Not so much the Critics' Choice because that's critics, but all the Guild awards are actually voted by Academy members. So we hear, when we see what they vote in the precursor awards, those are very good indicators of what could win for the Oscars. And, so that's that sort of theory. And like I said, the SAG Awards, the actor awards, they're now called, matter more than ever because they really gauge what the largest group of voters is thinking.
The Oscars this weekend, and Joe, what it's available on? What is it? The Hulu network that it's available on now?
I believe it's on ABC and Hulu.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll have a YouTube stream or not, but it's going to be available everywhere. You have to choose to miss it if you're going to do that.
All right. Well, let's talk about it because you're not done talking about the Oscars, my friend. What do you got going this weekend?
No, exactly. And if this isn't enough for you, if this gives you a little taste of Oscar fever, I want you to join me tomorrow at the Green Branch Library. I will be doing my annual lecture on the history of the Oscars plus a discussion of this year's awards. So what we just kind of talked about here is just a tip of the iceberg of what I'll be talking about tomorrow, plus a whole history of the awards. So again, come to my lecture tomorrow and be the smartest person in your Oscar party. And it's a really great thing. It's free, if I didn't mention that. That's at the Green Branch Library tomorrow, Saturday at 11 a.m., my annual Oscar talk and discussion. So I'd like to see everybody there. As you know, we have another event coming up as well that we're very excited about. And just a week away almost is our live Fortunato Film School of The Godfather. So that's next week. We'll be talking about that obviously in more details next week, but get your tickets now. That's at Jilly's Music Room. And we only do this every few months, so it's not an every weekend occurrence. And we've never done The Godfather. So if The Godfather is a favorite film of yours, and I know it is for you, Ray, and I know it is for a lot of people, come out and learn a lot more about it. If you've never seen The Godfather, this is your chance to check that off your list. That's next week at Jilly's Music Room. That will also be at 11 o'clock. You want to get your tickets in advance, though, because they do sell in advance. And you can go to Jilly's website. You can go to my website, joefortunato.net. You can also go to Facebook and see the event pages there. So by all means, come talk about the Oscars with me tomorrow and come join us for The Godfather next week.
Yeah, if you haven't taken in Joe's Film School, the way we work it is Joe and I get up on stage. We kind of do a little preview. Joe does most of it. I kind of introduce and talk to you folks, and then Joe takes over. And I don't want to call it play-by-play, but he gives the behind-the-scenes story as the movie unfolds in front of us. Really a great job. You don't want to miss it, especially for this movie. when you talk about The Godfather. It's just at the top of the list. I can't wait to listen to Joe's presentation of that for film school. That's next Saturday at Jilly's. Get your tickets now. Go to Joe's website or go to Jilly's and get your tickets. Joe, sounds good, my friend. Good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next Friday, and I can't wait to see you and get together with you next Saturday afternoon.
I'm looking forward to it, too. Have a great weekend.
You too, my friend. There you go. Film study professor Joe Fortunato joins us for Film School Fridays here on WAKR.